Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is December 28th. A little bit under the weather out here today. Believe it or not, I come to Hawaii and I've got a bit of a cold here. So interesting night last night. I'm going to try to fight my way through this here this morning. And thanks to Joe Behan yesterday for the super thanks. Much appreciated. So let's dive into the forecast here. You can see our next storm system clearly off the coastline here. A fairly robust frontal system actually here. It's going to bring some precipitation all the way down through Southern California. Some snow for the Sierra Nevadas. We got huge waves up and down the coast. You've probably seen some of that on social media. All kinds of surf warnings out there, some coastal flood advisories as well. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. And now we're looking at the NAM 3KM here. This is the high resolution model. It goes out 60 hours. And you'll clearly see the frontal system out off the coastline here. And you can see it starting to impact some of Northern California here. We got some light precipitation actually out ahead of this, but the main bulk of that front starts to roll in here during the day on Friday, and then you can see it sweep down across the Bay Area Friday afternoon. Now we're looking at Friday night here, and you can see it starting to impact areas. Point Conception starts to sweep towards Los Angeles here early Saturday morning, and eventually San Diego, and you can see it's going to bring some interesting precipitation amounts with it, and it's going to kind of be some hit and miss nature to this as well. So you can see some areas getting some heavier precipitation amounts versus others. Now, taking a look at this, is a 700 millibars or 10,000 feet. So I'm going to put this into motion here and check it out. Nice visual representation of what is going on above us at 10,000 feet. You can clearly see this bulk of cold air just move across the area here, showing that frontal system there. Things getting pretty chilly. Still also definitely be lower than that storm we had a week or so ago, a week and a half ago about for sure. So we're going to add some snow to the mountains, maybe even some for the Southern California mountains, a couple inches or so. And now taking a look at this, we have the Los Angeles National Weather Service. This was put out this morning, and again with the dangerous surf, the life-threatening rip currents and coastal flooding out there. You know, there's some pretty extreme risk out there. Wave sets to 20 feet, as you can see. So heads up for that. You could get some beach erosion even across some of the area as well. And this is Los Angeles, and they're talking about light rain midweek and weekend here coming up. And we may have another storm rolling in here next week that we're going to take a look at a little bit here as well. Snow levels drop down to 7,500 feet, so you guys know the drill. I remember living down in Los Angeles. When it does rain, it can be a pretty big deal out there, so heads up, it is coming. Now, taking a look at Eureka, California, high surf warning, and this is up and down the coastline here, all the way from Northern California, all the way to Southern California. We got high surf warnings in effect, and look at some of these waves, 28 to 32 feet, and this goes to 8 p.m. Thursday, and we're going to get another shot of some wave action here as we go through the weekend as well. Never turn your back on the ocean. Taking a look at the snowfall forecast here, look at this down to 5,500 feet potentially there. And yeah, you could get some snowfall finally. It looks like Donner Peak talking about 6 to 8 inches there. So yeah, hopefully this ends up verifying. You can see Sonora Pass at about 8 inches there. This timing here is from Friday, December 29th through Saturday, December 30th. And this is, look at the high surf warning in effect for the Bay Area as well. Again, up and down the entire coastline here, heads up, breaking waves 28 to 33 feet on west-facing beaches. Looks like there was actually some pier damage going on out there as well, and some pretty interesting wave activity. So there's probably some erosion occurring also. These conditions are deadly. Check out some of the dire wording there to the bottom left. Now, taking a look at additional rainfall through Saturday p.m. Look at San Francisco, 1 to 1.5 inches. Cloverdale, 2 to 3. And look at Gordon, Big Sur down there, 2 to 3 inches also. So, yeah, give yourself some extra time if you're out and about traveling. This is San Diego. Check it out. And again, we're getting precipitation all the way down into Southern California. Some higher amounts, maybe up towards an inch across some of the higher terrain. And hopefully Big Bear Lake can squeeze a couple inches out of this system as well. Now, this is looking at the wave action. The Pacific is really active right now. Just some monster waves, and you can see we relax a little bit, but still pretty significant wave action along the California coastline here. Then you can see the next round roll in here as we go through Friday night into Saturday morning, now all the way in through Saturday afternoon, then finally get a break here off through the extended forecast. Now, taking a look at the European, this one's hot off the presses, the 12Z run. That's the good thing about being sick and waking up late, is that we get a look at the 12Z European. So there goes our frontal system. Look at that moving down the coastline here, impacting Southern California. Swings through. Another system drops off fairly harmlessly to the southwest. But then we've got some more active weather rolling in here. And this next storm system out here as well was showing up some pretty decent precipitation amounts across some of Southern California also. So that's the next one we'll be watching. We'll try to get a bit more clarity on that over the next few days. Put it into motion motion and off into the extended forecast. We're looking out in fantasy land here, but there is some more interesting systems dropping down here, and hopefully these can start to produce some mountain snow because we are below average for this time of year. So yeah, interesting stuff. I've definitely seen worse forecasts if you like active weather in California. And this is lightning flash density potential. I just kind of want to put this out there as well. You can see you can't rule it out, a thunderstorm or two for the most part, but not a widespread lightning threat with this system. Here's day 2. You can see it does include areas down towards Big Sur, up and down the coastline there. And then if we go to day 3, you can see it extends a little bit further down. I wouldn't rule out a thunderstorm here over the next few days across Los Angeles as well. Now, taking a look at the jet stream here. So we talked about that jet extension, and this storm is a direct result of it. You can see that jet clearly plowing across the Pacific Ocean there, and there's the Hawaiian Islands. There'd be California here, and Japan would be to the far left, and this is 39,000 feet. You can see that jet ripping all the way across the Pacific, and this storm is a direct result of that jet extension. So yeah, if you remember talking about that, this is a result of it. Now, taking a look at total snow, 10-to-1 ratio. This is the 12Z European. Let's put this into motion here. And you can see that snowfall coming for the Sierra Nevada here. And if we scroll up into the future, I want to show you what's coming here because we're going into next week. That next storm system might drop a little bit better if it continues to verify for some of Southern California, as you can see. And then we've got some of the inside slider type systems rolling in here that could bring some chillier air and maybe build up some of that mountain snowpack. And if we go far enough into fantasy land there, you can see some interesting amounts coming all the way across the state there as well, but purely fantasy at this point. This is total precipitation in inches on this morning's European run. Put it into motion. You can see the rain piling up again here across some of the coastal areas here. Northern California sweeps down across Southern California as well, hopefully getting a half an inch for maybe Los Angeles and San Diego there. And then the next system swings off to the harmlessly off to the south and west. And then that next system showing up here. You can see that one looks pretty good for some Southern California precipitation, but we got to be cautious with that one as of right now, just because that can change on a dime. And we'll be breaking that down, trying to get some clarity on that system again, as I mentioned. Looking at Los Angeles, you can see the model runs actually showed kind of a bump there as we went through yesterday morning, but then it's back down towards the 0.4 of an inch, maybe a little bit more. And then the next system there, it's been showing up as bringing some measurable precip here and up, up over 0.8 of an inch. So we would definitely take that. Now, looking at San Francisco, you can see 0.8 of an inch with this next system there, and then that next storm kind of driving down the coastline might skip San Francisco for the most part. We'll see how this trends, though. And this is the 6 to 10 day. You can see California for precipitation above average, and the 8 to 14 day much of the west. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here now. Hopefully you guys found this useful here today, and I'll be here until January 2nd. So I'll try to do these briefings day by day. I'm going to go in there and try to get better and try to recover so my briefing isn't as difficult as it was this morning. I'm a little bit fatigued right now. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.